6.
Oh, okay, fine. Yeah.
I think we can start. Can we start?
Yes, sir.
How many people are there?
Can we start, sir?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. Knowledge is power. Information is liberating. Knowledge is the premise of progress in every society and in every family. Knowledge has beginning but no end. Good afternoon, everyone. I cordially invite you to one-day national webinar on good governance to enhance corporate reputation, organized by Department of Business Administration, SSMRV College. Today's webinar is certainly going to be enriching, augmenting, and purpose fulfilling. We are delighted to have Dr. V Prabhu Dev as our resource person for today's program. We are keen to hear from you, sir. Now let's start the program. I would like to request Professor Sanket Devan to welcome the gathering.
A very good afternoon to everyone present on the national level webinar. Regarding to the same, it's my pleasure to welcome the resource person Dr. V Prabhu Dev sir, who will establish the insights on the topic of good governance to enhance corporate reputation. Welcome, sir. It's my utmost elegant opportunity to graciously welcome our beloved principal, I would also like to initiate a warm welcome to SSMRV and other colleges around the educational domain. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Leaders instill in their people a hope for success and a belief in themselves. We have a positive leader who empower us to accomplish our goals. I am referring to our beloved principal, Dr. S. Anil Kumar, sir. Now I request Professor Neha, Assistant Professor of Department of Business Administration, to introduce our principal to the gathering.
Please check what is any issue. Professor Lavanya? Hello?
Dr. S. Anand Kumar is the principal of SSMRV College. He is an academician, an able administrator, and trailblazer for innovative ideas. Dr. S. Anand Kumar is a visionary leader who works passionately that caters to the holistic development of an individual.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Has been a prominent teacher among faculty and has spearheaded many innovations in education. He has an academic experience of over 40 years in the field of finance and management, both at
It is not audible. It is not audible.
It's not audible at all.
in recognition of his contribution to the field of finance.
Professor Neha, please, I think it's not audible. You may have to repeat.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
It is audible, but there is a lot of echo.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Can you hear me, sir, now?
Now it is better.
Neha should sit in different place and so that you
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hear you, but not Neha.
Can she start now?
Yes. Yes.
He can, yeah.
Yes, sir. Fine. Dr. S. Anil Kumar is the principal of SSMRV College. He is an acclaimed academician, an able administrator, and trailblazer for innovative ideas. Dr. S. Anil Kumar is a visionary leader who works passionately to revamp the education system and has developed a unique model called 360-degree education for wholeness model, with 6-dimensional approach that caters to the holistic development of an individual. He has been a popular teacher among faculties and students and has spearheaded many innovations in the field of education. He has an academic experience of over 40 years in the field of commerce and management, both at UG and PG level. In recognition of his contribution to the field of commerce and management, Sir has been awarded honorary D.Litt from the University of Panama, US. Sir has more than 21 years of research experience. He is recognized guide for many universities for MPhil and PhDs. Sir has produced 5 PhD and 31 MPhil students. He is a renowned author and has written 25 books in various subjects of commerce. He has been doing various UGC-sponsored projects. Dr. S. Anil Kumar has also published many research articles in many reputed journals. He has presented papers in national and international conferences. To mention a few, Griffith University in Australia, Harvard University in Boston, USA, and so on. He has been elected Academic Council member of Bangalore University and member of Tourism Committee of SKCCI. He has been the chairman of Board of Studies and Board of Education of Bangalore University and other universities. Sir is a member of NAC peer team. The reflection of his hard work and commitment has transformed into various awards such as, in recognition of dedicated services as a teacher conferred by His Excellency Dr. Hansaraj Bharadwaj, the Governor of Karnataka, organized by Rotary, Bangalore South and Karnataka Civil Defence Corps. Dr. Abdul Kalam Gold Medal for his contribution to education and research, awarded by Global Economic Progress and Research Association, New Delhi. Sir has been awarded for Academic Excellence in Education from RSS Trust. Dr. Kumar has also received Best Faculty Award for the year 2021 from Vivekananda College.
he received Lifetime Achievement Award from Novel Research Academy, Puducherry. Sir has been an NCC Under Officer and has won the Best Cadet Award. Coming back to his key focus areas within SSMRV, Sir's academic innovations are the 360-degree education for wholeness model with 6-dimensional approach, setting up of 40 academic and co-curricular clubs for holistic development of students, introduction of skill-integrated learning program with emerging technologies, introduction of work-integrated learning program, establishment of corporate labs, international collaborations, and establishment of simulation labs for skill enhancement. The direct impact of the same was our college getting an A grade by NAAC for the first time during its third accreditation cycle. We are proud to mention that our students got many rank and gold medals in Bengaluru University examinations. SSMRV has been ranked 4th among the top 5 colleges in India for the best value of money. In India Today, MRDA Survey 2018, 19, 20, and 21. Hello? Hello? Sir? I request Principal Sir to take over.
Thank you, Professor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm very happy to be part of this particular program because of one important reason, because of the resource person we have today. Professor Dr. Prabhu Dev, who is a good friend of mine and of course very knowledgeable person in the field of management, and he has got vast experience in the field of management, and he has agreed to be part of this particular program on the good governance to enhance the corporate reputation. So this is a very relevant topic for today's webinar, and we are really, very, very happy to have you on this particular program. Once again, I welcome you for this particular webinar.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And I also appreciate the initiative taken by Department of Business Administration in organizing this particular program. HOD of department, Professor Jagdish, the convener, Dr. Sushma, and Professor Lavanya, and all the members of the students who have taken interest in organizing this particular program, and the participants who always show a lot of interest in our webinars. So during last 2 years, we have conducted maybe more than 100 webinars, national, international webinars, and I think we have been receiving the good response. Even it has gone up to 1,100 participants actually in one of the webinars. Participation from all the states, almost 26 states in India, and even from Nepal and other places. And we got resource persons from all over the world, even from Stanford and various other places. So we have been organizing such webinars very frequently, and I would really thank all our participants from all over the world for encouraging us in organizing this kind of programs. So once again, I wish this program is success. Once again, I would like to thank Prabhu Dev for accepting our invitation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Your words are always inspiring. Thank you for the support.
Dreamers have dreams, achievers have goals. We have an achiever amidst us. I'm referring to our resource person, Dr. V Prabhu Deva.
Small correction. It is my name. You are pronouncing that name wrongly. Please, it is not Dr. Prabhu Deva. It is Dr. Prabhu Dev.
Okay.
Because we need to take care,
Yes, pardon me, sir. I take the pleasure to introduce Dr. V Prabhu Dev, Senior Academician, Professor and Director as a resource person. Sir has nearly 45 years of experience in the field of education. He has pursued MBA, MCOM, LLB, PhD, and he is a certified corporate director. He has served as head of Department of Commerce and Management, Sheshadripuram College. He has served as an academic dean, College of Business and Economics, Northeast Africa, and principal and director of CMR Institute of Management Studies, and served as a director at Surana College. Senior Professor of Finance, Institution of Management at Christ University. Sir has published over 8 books and 30 research papers and 40 articles. He has guided over 8 PhD and MPhil students. Sir is a recipient of Lifetime Achievement Award and Outstanding Contribution in the domain of education and Shiksha Ratna. And as a souvenir titled Prabudha was brought out in the year 2016 by Sir's students and well-wishers on the occasion of his completion of 4 decades in the academic domain. Sir, it's definitely our privilege to have you today with us as resource person. We are keen to hear from you, sir. It's over to you now. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to all the participants. Good afternoon to my long-time academic friend, Dr. Anil Kumar, who is providing excellent leadership at SSMRV College and is excellent team members. Especially, I would like to acknowledge the efforts of Dr. Sushma, the convener of Department of Management, Mr. Jagdish, the HOD, and of course the computer, Professor Lavanya, the coordinator, Department of Management. This webinar I consider as very important because of the topic. The topic is very contextual, contemporary, considering the importance involved. I recall there is, see, when you open the novel Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, the opening sentence is such a beautiful sentence. It says, all happy families are alike, but every unhappy family is unhappy in their own way. If we should apply this saying to the current discussion and webinar, it suggests that all corporate bodies which are performing very well, there is one thing in common, their corporate governance is excellent. The degree of corporate governance is very good in all these companies. If you look into their performance, it is excellent. And they have high degree of responsiveness to all their stakeholders. I request the organizers to unmute because there is a lot of disturbance. Unmute the participants, except when they want to ask questions. Can you please do it? There is a lot of crosstalk, a lot of disturbance. I request the organizer to unmute the participants. Thank you. Corporate performance is very important. It is not just making a profit. It is showing high degree of responsiveness to all the stakeholders. And committing steadfastly to value system is equally important. When a business can make profit ethically and legally, it is accepted by all. And it is the best yardstick. Profitability is very important, no doubt. But doing profit, making profit ethically and legally is important. So when the company performs very well, reaches its target and come out with good productivity come out with wonderful result, and the company is applauded, accepted, appreciated, recognized. And when a company does very well in terms of its performance, so it will be among the recognized companies. Today, recognition is very important. Good recognition is important. You know why? Because recognition brings respect. I would like to share my I would like to share my slides with you.
They have to give us the permissions. They have to allow us to.
I need to be allowed to share the slides, please. The organizers, please allow me to share the slide. Hello? Please allow me to share the slide.
Lavanya?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, look into it.
Can you see the slide, all of you? Okay. I was talking about the performance of corporates, how important for corporates to perform very well, at the same time satisfy all the stakeholders. I was telling good performance will help the company to be recognized. Today, recognition is very important. You know why? Along with recognition comes respect, and when respectability is there, there is some invisible, intangible power which the company can, exercise.
Any issue?
Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Lavanya, can you hear?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Good.
please respond to resource person.
Yeah.
Sir, you
Say-
are audible, sir.
Yes, yeah. Sharing is Another very important attribute when
Sir,
we
can
talk
you hear
of,
me?
I can hear you. I hope I can hear you.
Yes, yes, sir. Sir,
Are
can
you
I
able to?
share the screens on
Mute,
your
mute
behalf?
all
Yes,
the
yes.
participants first.
Yes, sir.
Can you see the slides?
Yes, sir. I can see the slides.
Okay. Organizations which are very successful, what they have in common? They're able to create shared purpose and shared aspirations. When you can take the entire team along with you, when you can articulate your goal, when you can articulate your vision and involve the entire team with you, nothing like that. It helps holding the people together, and it gives a sort of solidarity feeling among the team member. It will encourage trust. There is sense of togetherness, and it gives identity, and it gives a sense of belongingness. And there are a lot of coordinated efforts, and there are mutual benefit because here individual employees, they synergize their individual aspiration with the objective of the company. Therefore, I strongly feel that creating shared purpose and aspiration is one attribute of successful corporates which perform very well. Competitiveness is equally important. When a company can use these innovative measures and come out with reducing the cost, lowering the cost, reducing the cost, this is an indicator that the business is run efficiently, and you know very well that every rupee saved will add to market capitalization. This the truth successful company have always realized. And systems surrounding the company also should be very, very carefully handled. It may be people, it may be process, it may be performance, and it may be the very objective with which the company has come into existence. I am talking about the purpose behind the company's existence. I would like to tell you here the power of sharing. We talk of sharing of ideas in our academic, sharing of ideas. What a great thing, sharing of ideas. But in the business context, sharing assumes a lot of importance. It assumes a different trajectory altogether. I would like to quote here the sharing which happened in Infosys. If you can make a guess today, the Infosys, that is the market capitalization at Infosys. I hope all of you know what is market capitalization, number of outstanding shares into stock market price, quoted price. It comes to nearly 6,70,000 crore rupees. 6,70,000 crore rupee. Why I am saying this? If if I should ask you a question, what is the share of the co-founder of Infosys, Mr. Narayan Murthy and his family members? Mr. Narayan Murthy, wife Sudha Murthy, Rohan Murthy, and Akshata Murthys. All family members put together, what is the percentage of share? The market capitalization in Infosys is approximately, I told you, 6,70,000 crore rupees. What is the percentage of shareholding of Narayan Murthy and his family put together, aggregate? You will be surprised if I tell you that it is only 3.54%. They hold only 3.54%. Though Narayan Murthy is one of the co-founders, he wielded a lot of influence among the co-founders, and he was accepted as the senior member of the team. You could have taken a major chunk, but he went for only 3.54%. Even that comes to close to 23,700 crore. See, this is the power of sharing. When sharing happens, everyone is happy. And when sharing happens, it creates trust. It promotes trust. And today we talk of what is known as CSV and CSR. CSV is creating shared value. We were talking about creating shared value. The first, this creating shared value as a business concept was first introduced in 2006 in an article published in Harvard Business Review. And the concept was further expanded in the year 2011, again in an article, Harvard Business Review article by Michael Porter and Mark Kramer. Creating shared value is all about economic and social benefit. When a company can contribute, can create economic and social benefit, it is creating value and it is sharing its value. And CSV, creating shared value, believes in joint community and company value creation, and creating shared value is very much integral to profit making, and creating shared value will help the company to realign the entire company budget. But on the contrary, CSR, corporate social responsibility, it is all about citizenship, philanthropy, and sustainability, and it is separate from profit making. And believe me, all successful companies where corporate governance is of the highest degree, they are very, very careful in both the CSV and CSR, and especially when it comes to CSR. Today, corporate social responsibility has become mandatory. It was a hobby. Companies used to do corporate social responsibility on their own volition, voluntarily. But what was a corporate hobby has become a corporate duty now, because the provisions in the Companies Act 2013 were clearly embedded to include corporate social responsibility as a mandatory clause. And which type of companies where the net worth in the previous financial year, net worth more than 500 crore, a turnover more than 1,000 crore, and which made net profit of more than 5 crore, they have to have CSR initiative, and they have to spend 2% of their net profit over the preceding 3 years, 2%. And for what purpose? Companies Act Schedule 7 very clearly enumerates the activities, CSR activities. It could be hunger, poverty, education, gender equality, empowering women, reducing child mortality, HIV, AIDS, malaria. It could be environment sustainability, employment enhancing vocational skill, contribution to Prime Minister National Relief Fund, such other aspects, such other matter as may be prescribed from time to time. So corporate social responsibility has become an integral part of successful companies, and companies which are doing extremely good corporate social responsibility activities. It will add to their corporate reputation, because that only shows that they're doing very well as far as their corporate governance initiative are concerned. And what is the transformational capacity of CSR? Why CSR? If you look into the logic, business organizations have enveloped society. No business can think of existing without the society. So it has to give back to society. And business organizations are the biggest users of natural and human resources. They are the biggest polluters. So they have something to make up for all this, and they have to give back to society. They have to show their responsiveness to the society at large, to the community, and they should practice business. They should take up business practices in such a way that it will enable good relation between nations. The ethical component is also very important when it comes to governance. I'm going to talk about the ethical component a little later. Today, we are talking about being good corporate citizenship. What it takes, being good corporate citizenship. A corporate body is a good corporate citizen when it values the basic things, when it is sensitive to when it is responsive to the stakeholders. It could be shareholders, investors, customer, it could be employees, government, society, community at large, and what is his contribution to environment. Everything is considered here. When all these are ticked, the business is perceived as a responsible corporate citizen. And today, companies believe in 3 Ps. I'm not talking about product here. I'm not talking about process, etc. 3 Ps. There was a time when successful company means company which made profit and big profit. But what profit? Is profit everything? So companies realize soon that profit is not everything. In fact, when companies made huge profit, people suspected something about the company. Maybe the company is doing unethical thing to make such a big profit. But not all companies. There are companies which make huge profit both legally and ethically. That's a different thing. But profit is not everything. So companies realize that profit is not the only focus. What did they do? They also included the other P in their focus. The other P is people. People who matter for the company. It could be all types of people, but I'm talking about employees. How companies handle their employees, how the companies engage their employees. That is very important. That is one indicator of good corporate governance. I would like to take you back to 2008, 2009, when many companies, most of the companies the world over, were badly affected by global financial crisis. Many companies came crumbling down, but some companies showed extreme resilience, endurance. While most of the companies abroad, they were badly affected, they sent the employees back home. They removed the employees because they could not sustain. They could not pay the salary. But surprisingly, the Indian companies demonstrated extreme good resilience. They did not send the employees back home. On the contrary, they retained the employees, though they gave lesser pay, they retained the employees, and they also engaged the employees productively by giving them additional training, skill enhancement measures, and once the bad phase receded, when normalcy was restored, company was back to its revenue making mode, and employees were feeling very happy because they did not lose the job. You know what? Employees losing the job, who will take care of their EMIs? So it was very bad thing. But here, Indian companies retained the employees, though they gave half pay or reduced pay. It was okay for employees. They could manage taking care of their EMIs. So they are largely grateful to the organization. And naturally, the organization earned the trust of employees, and the employees, they show extreme loyalty to the organization, which showed high degree of responsiveness towards them at time of diversity. So companies care for people, the second P. And companies also realize that it is very important to include one more P. What is that? That is planet. My dear friends, you agree with me that today global warming is taking the world by storm, both literally and figuratively. We are living in a toxic driven world. We are living in a world where the earth is getting heated up, and there is an estimation that it is getting heated up at the rate of 0.2%, 0.2 degree per decade. Therefore, companies have come together to show their extreme sense of responsibility, responsiveness to ensure that the we live in a clean, green, equitable planet. Companies are doing their extreme good towards sustainability, towards environment, in ensuring a good planet. All of you agree that when the house where we live in becomes unlivable, we have a choice. We can change our house, we can go to another house. But the planet where we live becomes unlivable, we don't have a choice. My dear friends, the third P, planet, is very important for all of us, including successful company. And another hallmark of creating good corporate citizenship is creating wealth responsibly, generating wealth responsibly. And there is, I will take you to the next interesting slide. 3G scenario. What is this? 3G implies globalization, governance, and global warming. Globalization. It is a continuous process where there is no boundaries at all. Companies are not operating in silos. Companies are no more insulated. Companies are highly globalized. Cross-border connectivity and integration can be seen. You can see free trade environment, interdependency of nations, and global business expansion. You can see cross-cultural diversification. That is very important here. Lower tariffs. Another advantage of globalization is lower tariff and taxes on international business operation, mobility of skills and talents, where employees they become highly mobile because of globalization, and it creates huge opportunities. And governance is beyond corporate governance. We talk of global governance, balancing different interests of nations and coordination of national policies, identification of shared norms and rules. We talk of financial market regulation, we talk of IFRS, we talk of Organization for Economic and Corporate Development, we talk of GATT, WTO, IMF, G7, G20, and World Economic Forum. And I was talking about global warming planet just now. The climate change has become a long-term change in the average weather pattern and defines Earth local, regional, and global climate. And in this scenario, there is increased expectation in the globalized world. And Indian companies need to align themselves with the best practices of many multinational companies. Many multinational companies are operating in India. They have their own benchmark, which are globally accepted. So the imperative is for the Indian companies to match the global governance practices of multinational companies. So who is the biggest beneficiary? The stakeholder is the biggest beneficiary of this globalized world. And there are challenges for Indian companies. You know why? I was telling you a little while ago, there is high mobility of Indian talent and skill of employees. So if Indian companies have to retain the employees, they have to be very careful. They need to engage the employee very carefully in a very imaginative way, because the globalized world also has brought in some challenges, including employee engagement, which is very important, and handling customers and investors is also important. Customers will go for another company, investors will go for another company. So it is a challenge for Indian companies to handle the customers properly, handle the investors properly. Investors' confidence is very important, in addition to enjoying the confidence of customers. And successful companies, companies which have shown high degree of corporate governance, are able to operate very well in the globalized world. What it takes now? See, the corporate leaders um, become very important here. After all, they provide leadership to corporate bodies. So it is the leader who can make all the difference. The leader should have agility, should have imagination, should have endurance, should have dynamism, should have self-reflection, and he should be highly skillful so that he can take his company, he can drive his company to greater height, he can navigate his company through challenging time. It takes a lot of skill. It is an art. It is a different craftsmanship altogether to navigate a company. You know why? Because so much dynamism is all around, so much complexities are all around, so many unexpected events are taking place, and so many crises. If you look into the crisis in the recent past, a few corporate leaders have demonstrated extreme professionalism, extreme endurance, agility, resilience, and they are successfully are able to navigate their organizations. And such companies are able to float, such companies are able to even come out successfully, converting a crisis into opportunities. Today, we talk of Industry 4.0, where the underpinnings are Internet of Things, big data, artificial intelligence. And companies are forced to recalibrate themselves. Companies are forced to realign themselves in change, in tune with the changing ecosystem. And already we have a VUCA landscape. What is that VUCA landscape? VUCA. V stands for volatility, U stands for uncertainty, C stands for complexity, and A stands for ambiguity. It is like driving a car where the road is not level. You know, just imagine the road is so beautiful. It is a concrete road. It is not bumpy at all. You can navigate, you can cruise. But the scenario is difficult. The corporate management scenario is difficult. It is different, where the windscreen may become foggy altogether, all of a sudden, where the road may become bumpy, where there may be sudden curve. Why I'm talking about VUCA world, highly volatile. It is not no normal situation, highly volatile. What may come and hit you? What adverse situation may come and hit you with what intensity? You don't know. It is very uncertain. And things are getting very complex. And not just that, you are not able to see things properly. It is ambiguous. And in such a scenario, it takes a different dispensation for corporate leaders to steer their organization to success. So when I talk of good corporate governance leading to good reputation, it is the corporate leader who is important here. And what is the right approach for the corporate leader? You should have vision, good vision. Vision is very important. What is vision? It is the ability to see things which are otherwise invisible for others. You are able to see things while others are not able to see. Corporate leaders, that is their hallmark, having good vision. I recall what George Bernard has said, some men see things as they are and ask why. I see things that never were and ask why not. Your ability to see things which are not visible for others, rather they're invisible for others. That is vision. Every corporate will have vision statement. Very carefully thought of vision statement. I'm not saying carefully worded vision statement, very carefully thought of vision statement. In the year 1981, in the month of July, when young friends came together, 7 of them, they had jobs, study job, good job, but they had a very different ambition to make something on their own. They had fire in their belly. They wanted to do something on their own. I am talking about young Narayan Murthy. I am talking about 1981, July. Narayan Murthy, Chris Gopal Krishna, Nandan Nilekani, Shibulal, Ashok Arora, and N.S. Raghavan. They come together and a lot of churning happens and they have a brainstorming session. They have fire in their belly, as I told you, and very lofty ideas, and enthusiasm is very high. Youngsters, of course, they were all working. What happens in such a scenario? The vision statement will be very lofty, very tall, maybe a little far-fetched. But these youngsters, they come out with a beautiful and a simple vision statement. You know what is that? To be a globally respected company. They come out with this vision statement in a small garage. But see their vision, to be a globally respected company. I was talking about respect in my initial few moments when I commenced my talk. Respect is very important. And they came out with a vision to be a globally respected company. To have respect, what is important? Performance. Performance will bring in reputation. Reputation will bring in recognition. And recognition will bring respect. And vision statement of Infosys was to be a globally respected company. Now, 1981, 2022. See the vision. In fact, indeed, Infosys is a globally respected company. And how it is possible? Because all these leaders, they had a common thread passing all of them. They were grounded and they had clarity in their thought process, and they knew what is coming in, what is the future. They were able to think in future, about the future. They were very futuristic. And I consider the vision statement of Infosys as a classic one is very important. And another right approach for corporate leaders to provide good governance is provide clear direction, not directions. Just give the direction and allow them to work. No micromanagement here. If you give directions, what they will be doing, the leader has to do everything. Give them autonomy. Give them time to complete their task. Let them come out with their imaginative ideas. Foster an environment where they come out with great ideas. So that in the final, eventually what happens, great ideas coming together, when all these ideas are synergized, integrated, the biggest beneficiary is the organization. Therefore, corporate leaders should provide clear direction, not directions. They will not involve in micromanagement. I was talking about ability of corporate leaders to navigate their organizations through difficult times because they know how to anticipate risk. That is their strength, anticipating risk and taking risk. It is all about predictability, sustainability, profitability, and de-risking. Predict the risk. There is no organization, no business which has no risk. In fact, risk is an integral part of every business. So what is the thing, which is important? Anticipate the risk, handle the risk, mitigate the risk. And good corporate leaders, they can anticipate the risk. That is their strength. As I was telling you, predictability, sustainability, profitability, and de-risking. and they know what is the DR, degree of affordable risk, what is the threshold limit, what is the tolerance limit. Every organization has its own threshold limit as far as risk is concerned. And leaders, they should know the DA or degree of affordable risk. They should know the threshold limit for their organization as far as handling the risk is concerned. And corporate leaders, they know how to take decisions, taking a big picture. It is not easy. It needs a different quality altogether. It needs a different personality. It needs different experience and different dispensation to take a big picture. I will again go back to Infosys. When Infosys was incorporated in the year 1981, July, things were not very good at that point in time. In fact, the computer business was in its nascent stage, very, very early stage. It was not very conducive for computer-related, computer service, IT service business in India at all. And all these youngsters had given up their job and started the business, 1981. But nothing was happening, nothing more was happening. Their revenue generation was not good as per the expected level. So what happened? And they were feeling a little disappointed, little frustrated. What happened in the year 1991, 10 years after the company was incorporated, there comes an offer. Somebody gives an offer to buy Infosys for 10 lakh US dollar. That is 1 million US dollar. That point in time, it was a very attractive amount. So many among these 7, they think, okay, it's a great idea. Let us sell the company and the proceeds therefrom, let us distribute among ourselves and take up some nice job and be happy. But one among them says no. He says, if you want to sell the company, I will buy. And who was that person? Mr. Narayan Murthy. And Mr. Narayan Murthy says, let us not sell the company. As I was telling you, Mr. Narayan Murthy wielded a lot of influence in that group because of his seniority, because of his different approach, and others just kept quiet. The company was not sold, and Mr. Narayan Murthy said, we will wait. There is a saying, chance favors the prepared mind. 1991, July, globalization, liberalization was announced by the government, and Infosys had a lot of advantage from that stage. And you turn back, Infosys, where it has come, a company which employs nearly 335,000 people, and where it is a 16.31 billion company. And this is possible because the right decision was made and the team was able to take a bigger picture. And another important thing for the corporate leaders when they go for good governance, when they want to give good governance, is capitalize on complexity. Don't get jittery when you face a complex situation. Enjoy it. Capitalize. I was telling you, when there is a crisis, turn crisis into an opportunity. Turn your wounds into wisdom. There is a saying, So business leaders, they know how to convert adverse situation into beautiful business opportunity. When there's a lemon, make a lemonade. They say. And another thing is that when you want to float, when you want to show your extreme agility, stay in the business, do profit, continue to make profit, you need to have great ideas, new ideas, novel ideas. You need to innovate. In fact, innovation has become a continuous process, and companies know how to go out of their R&D department, bringing great ideas, welcoming great ideas. They foster great thinking. They foster an environment where employees come out with great ideas that contribute. I remember Jack Welch, who headed General Electricals. He handpicked people in his team, and you would listen to his team members for ideas. Can you believe this? Great leaders have this attribute. They go for excellent feedback. They encourage their team to come out with great ideas. And innovation happens when there is a conducive environment to come out with great ideas. And today, collaboration is important more than competition. Alone, we can do so little, but together we can do so much, because talent wins games, but teamwork brings championship. The collaboration is very important. So collaboration also helps organization to achieve productivity, to achieve economy of operation. And successful organization where there is good governance, they're able to leverage your diversity. Today, every company is operating itself in a cross-cultural environment. We have employees from different continents, belong to different cultural diversity, belong to different cultural orientation. So it is important for organization to keep this in mind, leverage diversity, create better work culture, which will reduce the staff turnover and increase productivity, and it will directly contribute to the company's profit. And I was talking about employee engagement, and this point is also very important. Engage the employees, and so that the employees will develop trust in leadership. It will be very encouraging them, and it will give a sense of recognition, and they will also enjoy work-life balance. They realize the sense of purpose, and it will help them to be in tune with, they align themselves with the organization, they give the best. And so many companies are coming out with measures to keep their employees happy, because a happy set of employees, happy team of employees will do a lot towards organizational success. And companies, many companies, they want to do something adventurous. Successful companies, they don't do the same thing. They're adventurous. I recall Rabindranath Tagore, what he says: you can't cross the sea merely by standing and staring at the water. You need to navigate. You need to take a boat and cross. You cannot be afraid of the strong current, especially if the river is a little volatile. You can't. You need to be adventurous. So only adventurous leaders, they can take their organization to greater horizons. Nothing adventured and nothing attained. If you turn the pages of history, there is mention of the person who wins. Perhaps there is also mention of the person who loses the battle. But absolutely, there is no mention in the pages of history about sheer onlookers and bystanders. Therefore, you have to be adventurous. And corporate leaders who lead successful corporations, they are basically adventurous. And successful companies are those who enjoy longevity. Longevity, in fact, is the best index of success of any corporation. In fact, longevity, why some companies are able to be there in the business for a long time? Because of their disciplined approach, because of their right strategy, and because of their focus on core business. They focus on core business, and as I was telling you, innovation, and their adventures also. I will take you to Fortune 500 companies. Fortune 500, inception 1955. 500 companies were there, 1955. And today, out of 500 companies, only 52 companies are there continuously among the Fortune 500 companies. Only 52 companies. And remaining companies have gone into oblivion. Why is that? And 52% of the companies among Fortune 500 companies have become extinct since 2000. If you take the happenings since 2000, very volatile happenings happening, incident happening, developments happening, many companies went into oblivion. 52% of them became non-existent since the year 2000. Standard and Poor comes out with one observation. It says average lifespan of companies in the year 1958 was 61 years, average lifespan. But today it says less than 18 years. So before the company becomes young, vibrant, it dies. What is the reason? And it says in the same breath, by 2027, 75% of the current Standard and Poor 500 companies would have disappeared. Reason: buyout, merger and acquisition. Many companies went bankrupt. I was telling about global financial crisis. Many companies fizzled out. Only a few companies could show extreme resilience and endurance, and they could float themselves. Speed, imagination, meritocracy, excellence in execution is what is good leadership is all about. It is not about going very fast. You have to be fast. At the same time, you should be cautious. You should be careful. And good leaders, they are fast, but they do not sacrifice quality. They are fast and careful. They are fast and steady. And they're clear in their perspective, strategic perspective. They know how to communicate powerfully, and they have the ability and courage to change, and they're inspirational and motivational. And imagination is another thing. Come out with the solution, because problems can be anything. Problem can be unexpected. You should come out with solution fast. It should be fast, and it should be imaginative in coming out with solution. And the leaders, successful leaders, come out with the innovative ways to lead and develop their teams. And they have a futuristic approach. They encourage their team. Meritocracy is also very important. If no merit, no success. And excellence in execution. Perform in an outstanding manner. Excellence in execution. Setting a clear team vision. Conduct quality meeting, frequency meeting, go for feedbacks, and accountability and transparency. You need not mention about it. It is an integral thing, accountability and transparency. Let us just talk about leadership crisis. And there is one more thing. I think I skipped this. This is also very important. Cliff, what is this? Customer focus. When the customer focus is lost, I think everything is lost. Leadership by example, where getting involved, saying and doing, the leaders are consistent. They walk the talk. And saying and doing, they're so consistent, and they put people first. They avoid, as I told you a little while ago, they avoid micromanagement. They're flexible, and they have extreme good ability to listen. Ability to listen is very important. Good leaders are great listeners, and they lead by example. When the leader has the ability to listen, even things which are sensitive, which are even unexpressed, it's great leadership. And this is leadership by example. And integrity and value system is the hallmark of good leadership. I'm going to talk about integrity and honesty, a little ethics a little later, and fairness and transparency. Everything should be transparent and fair. This will encourage confidence, trust. In fact, the foundation on which investor confidence is built, is investor trust and fairness and transparency. The moment investor feel confident about the company will have success. And excellence in execution is another important thing. Quickly, I will take you to, there is some disturbance. Hello? Hello, there is some disturbance. Can you please, organizers, can you please take care? Hello? Organizers, can you please take care? There is disturbance. Yeah, leadership crisis, absence of synergy between the CEO and the board. All of you know very well that importance of board, the board of directors. As a corporate body is an artificial legal entity, the owners of the company, shareholders cannot be there to manage the company. So they entrust the management of the company in a team called the board of directors. The board of directors will be responsible for taking all policy decisions, and there should be perfect synergy between the CEO and the board. And when there is a divided board, is disastrous. When the board is fractured, disastrous for the company. There should not be lack of cultural fit. If there is a lack of cultural fit between, there should be cultural fit. If there is no cultural fit between a lateral interleader and the organization, it is disastrous. Wherever there is no succession plan, there is leadership crisis. We have seen CEOs quitting the company, coming back, because there are a lot of leadership related crisis. Steve Jobs, September 16, 1985, quit the company. Exactly September 16, 11 years later, 1996, he comes back. And rather, he had a scuffle with his former colleague, John Scully, but later he comes back as the CEO. And Dell Technologies, Michael Dell, 2004 he quits, 2007 he comes back at the request of the board of directors, and Mr. Narayan Murthy, who leaves the board as CEO in 2011, comes back in the year 2013, and Ratan Tata, he leaves Tata Sons in 2012 and comes back in October 2016, though as an interim chairman. The leadership crisis also is another important thing. I don't want to dwell too much on this because of paucity of time. And I will just quickly tell you about the case of Infosys where there was crisis. Narayan Murthy handpicked Vishal Sikka. Vishal Sikka, who was heading SAP, was appointed as the CEO of Infosys by Narayan Murthy. He was handpicked by Narayan Murthy. There was great expectation by Narayan Murthy, and there was a mixed feeling in Infosys, mixed feeling of apprehension and discontentment among this top brass, among mid-level managers in the company. But Vishal Sikka showed extreme good initial promise. For example, he came out with personal mail to all the former employees of Infosys. He said, come back and join. I have a dream, I have a target. By 2011, I would like to touch 20 billion revenue for the company and all that. But unfortunately, there was a lack of cultural fit. There was a trust deficit. There was a large-scale exodus from Infosys. 6 executive vice presidents left, and 8 senior vice presidents left the company. So there was a divergence of perception at Infosys, and he had to go. Sikka had to go. 2017, 3 years, he had to go. See what happens. In spite of that, company is able to somehow manage. And there was little poor succession plan at Infosys. Later, he was replaced by Pravin Rao. And later, and from 2018, Salil Parekh is the leader CEO of Infosys. And another example I would like to give here is case of Tata Sons. All of you know very well, Cyrus Mistry was the first non-Tata chairman. But he was appointed in 2012 December, and 4 years, little less than 4 years, he was removed. I was telling you the first non-Tata, and not just that. Tata Sons is a salt-to software behemoth. It is a multi-billion company, a conglomeration company, so many companies under Tata Sons umbrella, and a company which has got more than 150 years of existence. It has got only 5 chairmen during 150 years. And the 6th chairman was Cyrus Mistry. And he was handpicked by Tata. Cyrus Mistry was on the board of Tata Sons. You know why? Because Cyrus Mistry belongs to Sharponji Pollonji Mistry, father of Cyrus Mistry. The family held nearly 18% in Tata Sons. And because of that, because of the clout, and Cyrus Mistry as the director of Tata Sons, and also he was taking care of his own family business. He was so promising, and Cyrus Mistry impressed Ratan Tata. Ratan Tata handpicked him, invited Cyrus Mistry to be on the to become the chairman of Tata Sons, and there was lack of cultural fit. There was a divergence. Though he was very promising initially, Cyrus Mistry did exactly opposite what Ratan Tata did. He started divesting assets. He started selling non-profit businesses and concentrating only on cash cows. So it didn't go well with Ratan Tata, and eventually he was removed on 24th October 2016. And Cyrus Mistry, he died recently in the month of September in a car accident. That's a different thing altogether. My dear friends, now I will tell you about ethics. If you just look into successful corporation, all these corporations are led by leaders who are ethical, whose ethical component is of the highest order, whose integrity is unquestionable, who had value system, who believed in the value system, who took value system steadfastly in their approach. And such organization did extremely well. I recall what Warren Buffett says. The characteristics he looks in a manager are intelligence, hard work, and integrity. If you do not have the third, the first two will kill you. He says integrity, if integrity is missing, there is no value in keeping your hard work and intelligence. In fact, they will kill you, which means integrity and ethics are very important. I would like to just quote here only a few examples because of time constraint. Case of Rajat Gupta. All of you know who is Rajat Gupta. Rajat Gupta, he went from India chasing American dream, but he makes it very big there. He passes out from MIT, and later he gets his business management degree from Harvard Business School, and he joins McKinsey as a junior person. But because of his business acumen and professionalism, he rises to the top, the first non-American to head McKinsey. He does extreme good job. He enjoys respect and adulation of the entire corporate world, global corporate world. So much was the cloud which Rajat Gupta enjoyed. But after coming out from McKinsey, he retired from McKinsey in the year 2007 rather. And believe me, he was responsible for starting ISB, Indian School of Business, Hyderabad, with his friend Anil Kumar, with his friend. He did extremely well. And he was invited to be on the board of Procter & Gamble, Goldman Sachs, and so many companies. As I told you, that was the respect he enjoyed. What happened? So when there is a little ethical component is wavering, what will happen? In the year 2008, September month, he attended board of directors meeting of Goldman Sachs. And he was going home. He received a call from his friend Rajaratnam, a hedge manager, And during their telephone conversation, Rajat Gupta reveals the board proceedings to his friend over phone, and he says that Warren Buffett is planning to invest 5 billion US dollars in Goldman Sachs. It was a telephone conversation. Based on this exclusive, price-sensitive, unpublished information, Rajat Gupta's friend Raja Rajaratnam, who was on the other side of the telephone conversation, involved in insider trading and made a huge profit of 8 lakh American US dollars. The law is very strict in the US. So somebody filed a case under SOX, Sarbanes-Oxley Act is very, very strict. And Rajat Gupta was, tried, and he had to face prosecution. What a loss of face. Though Kofi Annan and others batted for Rajat Gupta, even Bill Gates batted for Rajat Gupta, telling that he's a great philanthropist and all that. But the law took its own course, and Rajat Gupta has to face very bad days. He had to he had to languish in jail. Though he was released later, there's a different story. But what a fall from grace. And Ramalinga Raju, Satyam Computer. Ramalinga Raju, he falsified the accounts. But Ramalinga Raju built an empire. Satyam Computers from 1987. In just a matter of 5 years, it became a listed company. And Ramalinga Raju showed extreme professional acumen, so much intelligence, and his performance was so good. The World Council for Corporate Governance comes out with a Golden Peacock Award. And he was described as the Bill Gates of India and all that, But what went wrong? He falsified accounts very systematically. He falsified the account, and he showed nearly 7,800 crore, which did not exist at all in his accounts. For example, cash and bank balance actual was nearly 321 crore, but he reported 5,361 crore as cash, and he understated liability, and actual liability was 1,230 crore, but he showed the liability as nil. So systematically, he misled the investors. And what was the game plan? His game plan was he had invested 24% in Satyam, and he wanted to offload when the price of Satyam Computer was at peak, offload and divert the money towards buying property for Mehta. Satyam, Mithas, you reverse it. This was his game plan. But the independent directors in Satyam, they were too good. For example, there was Ram Mohan Rao, the Dean of ISB. There was Krishna Palepu, professor of Harvard B School. In fact, Krishna Palepu, he sends a mail to other independent directors saying that there is something messy here. And when it becomes slowly public, Ramalinga Raju preemptively, he goes before the press and he admits of falsification of account. And surprisingly, PricewaterhouseCoopers India was the statutory auditor. What happened? Because of this unethical practice, investors lost nearly 14,000 crore rupee. The stock price, which was hovering at 544 rupees per share in the month of, say, September, October 2008, it came down crashing to 11.5. That means 98% of the share value was lost by the investors because of the unethical practice of Ramalinga Raju. What Panishmurthy did, Panishmurthy, another case where, we talk of unethical leadership. Panishmurthy, he was the blue-eyed boy of Narayan Murthy. Panishmurthy, he has both IIM Ahmedabad degree and IIT, before that IIT Madras. Very talented youth. And he starts his career in Sonata Software, but he was appointed by Narayan Murthy to join Infosys in the year 1982. And he becomes director. Between a short span of 2000 to 2002, he ensures that the turnover, Infosys turnover, grows manifold. That is the clout, that is the intelligence, that is the professionalism of Panish Murthy. But what went wrong? What was the unethical aspect of Panish Murthy? When everything was going good, uh, Panish Murthy was in the year 2002, he was fired from Infosys. What was the ground? What did he do? Sexual harassment case. A female colleague filed a sexual harassment case, female colleague by name Rekha Maximovich. Although it was settled out of the court, Panish Murthy was removed in the year 2002. And he joins Highgate in August 2003 as C1 to become C1 president in the year 2008, April 2008. And he ensures that Highgate buys Patni computers. That point in time, it was the largest deal in the year 2011. Everything was going good. But again, in the year 2013, 21st May, another lady colleague filed a case against Panish Murthy, and exactly same sexual harassment case, this time one Miss Arasala Royce. What a fall from grace for Panish Murthy. It is unethical once again. And case of Chanda Kochar. Chanda Kochar recently, I think you must have read a lot about Chanda Kochar, a cost accountant, and who was promising, she was with ICICI Limited, joins ICICI Bank, and she was handpicked by the former chief of ICICI, and she grows to the top position of ICICI because of her business acumen, and she does extremely good job. So much so that she takes ICICI Bank in a different trajectory altogether, and she becomes the recipient of the second most civilian award, Padma Bhushan. And she gets featured in Forbes and Fortune magazine because of her success story. But what went wrong? In the year 2009, she gives a loan to Videocon, Tooth family Videocon, nearly 360 crore loan. But what happens, Videocon, Tooth family, they transfer 64 crore of this amount. They are the borrower that transfer this amount to a company called New Power Renewables. This New Power Renewables is owned by Deepak Kochar, who is Chanda Kochar's husband. So, where was her ethical component? It is she accepted this as a favor, or as a consideration for doing a favor, giving loan to Videocon. Of course, there was whistleblower, and it was a complaint was lodged in SEBI, CBI, even Prime Minister office, and but somehow she could manage, maybe because of her clout, what she enjoyed. But eventually, when a former judge was appointed to look into the case, she saw that the ending was coming. She resigned. She resigned from her position, but later she was terminated. What a fall from grace. And she comes out with a statement that it is very painful for her to face the termination. Though she had resigned on her own, termination was not necessary. But she has to face what was coming in for her because of her unethical practice. There are so many things. Even you can talk about Vijay Mallya, who is labeled as the fugitive economic offender of the nation, was doing so good, king of good times. But where is he now? He was so successful, and because of his greed, because of his unethical practices, he has to face such a he is called economic offender and willful defaulter. See, now days will not be the same for Vijay Mallya and for all these leaders. My dear friends, It is past 4 o'clock. Because this is a very vast topic, this can be deliberated upon for days together. The canvas is very huge for us to paint so many things. But I try to keep all this in a limited time capsule and or try to just offer the required inputs. And thank you very much for your wonderful participation. I would like to hear any questions from the participants. Any question, please? Hello?
Audience with the questions? You can ask the question in the chat box. Sir will answer them.
No. I request the organizer to read the question from the chat box.
Yes, sir. Fine.
Yes.
I will read it, sir. Thank you. So audience with the questions can put their questions in the chat box.
No question? What action employees? There is a question from Dr. Vinaya.
Yes, sir. I will read it, sir.
Yes.
What action employees can take if they find that the employer is into unethical practices? From Vinaya.
If the employer is involving or indulging in unethical practice, if there is evidence, if the employees can foresee, they don't have anything, they don't have any control. So what they have to do, they have to come out of the organization before it becomes too costly for them. Because eventually when the organization suffers, it will be too difficult. Therefore, when they feel that the leaders are indulging in unethical practice, the employees can walk out, can quit as early as possible. They don't have anything. After all, they cannot advise the leaders. Can they? No, absolutely not. So this is what I can tell you. And employees, yes, it is a good question, though. Employees need to watch what is going on inside. They need to keep a separate conscious level, awareness level to try to find out what is brewing at the top. Sometimes, it becomes very invisible, very obscure, ambiguous, but try to make the best effort to find out what is happening at the top level. If they have even the obscure feeling that something is amiss in the top as far as ethics and integrity is concerned, they should take this as a strong signal. They should take this as a red flag so that they can quit at the appropriate time. Yes, thank you.
Audience with the questions?
So can I presume that there is no further question?
Sir, we have a question actually.
Yes,
They are
yes.
taking time to type it, sir. Just a
No
minute.
problem. Absolutely no problem. No
Yes,
problem.
sir. Yes. Sir, we have a question from Sanket Diwan. Speaking of 2% contribution of companies to CSR, the global warming rate competitively from 1880 to 1981, it's 0.14 degrees. So is it 2% enough?
Yes, it is a good question. The Companies Act, the new Companies Act, which came into effect from the year 2013, that point in time, they just thought 2%. Though it looks very small, 2% of the average profit of the preceding 3 years. So it is equitable. I don't say it is small, it is equitable. 2% of the profit. In case you make a good profit, in case you make 1,000 rupees average profit, average 3 years, 2% of that you calculate. So it is sizable amount. The percentage may look very small, but in terms of the relative figure, 2% of the profit, I think it is perfectly all right. However, any act for the matter, any statute for the matter will be altered, will be amended from time to time, considering the socio-economic and cultural aspect. And therefore, maybe this 2% could be revised in future, considering the enormity of the CSR initiative, the enormity of the cost involved, the amount involved in the CSR initiative. This could be revised. There could be upper revision. But as of now, the 2%, though looks small in absolute term, in relative term, it is quite sizable. It's quite good. So good companies which make a good profit, 2% will translate itself into sizable figure, good amount, which can be used for corporate social activity. And global warming, which is increasing its scale and intensity. Any amount is insufficient. The question is, in fact, very appropriate. I think the policymakers may go for upper revision of 2%, considering the enormity of the amount involved to face the challenges.
Thank you, sir. Audience with the questions?
Any further question? Okay. Is there any other question? Organizers?
Sir, we haven't gotten any questions.
Okay. It is up to you now.
Yes. So it was definitely a detailed narration on most substantial aspects of corporate reputation building. You have meticulously touched upon a lot of aspects and ignited our minds. Thanks a lot for accepting our invitation and being here today.
Thank
We
you.
moved on to the last part of the program. So we have Dr. Sushma ma'am. I request her to propose word of thanks.
Sushma can't be heard.
I, Sushma C., Assistant Professor, Department of Business Administration. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion. I would like to thank the resource person, Dr. V Prabhu Dev, sir, Director, MQI, College of Management. I am also very much thankful to the Principal, Dr. S. Anil Kumar, sir, for his support and guidance to conduct this webinar. I extend my thanks to HOD, Dr. Jagdish A., to conduct this webinar. I extend my thanks to organizing team, Professor Neha, Professor Lavanya, Professor Gokul, and Professor R. Pavana R. Kulkarni, and Professor Sanket sir. I extend my thanks to all HODs of the department and all faculties and participants from other colleges to make this webinar successful. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Take care. All the best.
So thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
And audience, the feedback link is actually shared in the chat box. kindly take a moment to fill in the feedback. Thank you all. Have a great evening.